anger is coming from things were supposed to be right. And Tupac's statement is almost like a terms of endearment in it because it's like, well, we always was still all I had. It I think the expectations of things go right from a white American perspective versus things accepting the idea of things not going right from African American perspective are what make the difference in the tones in those records.
I don't agree with that.
Kanye right now, what is he doing?
Mm-hmm.
What is he thinking right now? And the deals that we know were important to him because he spent his time building himself in fashion, wanting to
But
talk
Kanye's so much of a
about
fucking narcissist. He is a narcissist, but it's serving him wonderfully in this position he's in right now, bro, because he's not thinking anything will slow down. I'm Kanye. I can get myself about this situation that these motherfuckers put me in. You know what I'm saying? So, like, you got to be strong-willed, like, have a backbone like a motherfucker, resilient and all that shit, bro. And I have no doubt that Kanye is going to be just fine. He's still worth hundreds of fucking millions of dollars, man, but to lose that much amount of your fucking net worth, whatever the fucking number it is they got out there, it's crazy. And that will cause weak motherfuckers to commit suicide, bro. You know what I'm saying? Bleep that word out. You know what I'm saying? But Kanye gonna be just fucking fine, dog. It's one of those times where being a narcissist is gonna help you.
quitting music to be an intern at LV.
Mm-hmm.
Made those statements at different points. So it's important to him to do that and to have all of those things just go away from something you said. That's
Right.
crazy. I've
Crazy
seen
as fuck.
wild
Ooh,
situations.
I want to
like
see
this.
if he gon' is 50 gonna dibble and dabble in all this anti-Semitic bullshit, bro. I want to see if he gonna address the fucking elephant in the room or like tiptoe around.
Based on something a person has done.
Right.
Never what they
What do you say?
said. That's
Right.
crazy.
Facts.
I've seen wild situations like this based on something a person has done.
Right.
Never what they say. This is the first time I'm seeing it being based on something that you just said the wrong thing.
Yep.
That's crazy. Think about it.
That's the soft ass space we in, bro.
It's pretty terrifying.
Crazy.
You know, if you remove what he said and just base it on that he said something and all of this has happened.
Yeah.
It's like, how come you don't worry? Like, you don't worry about that, you know?
No.
Like, your whole
I was just thinking about what I don't know if Buddy meant what I'm thinking right now, man. But like, if you weren't aware of the Kanye situation, but you just looked at this situation from the outside looking in and saw Kanye said X, and this was the result, right? All the shit that happened to him. You know what I'm saying? But you don't know what this is. And leave it blank. What would you think it could have possibly been to result into what it did, right? Like, there's nobody out here. I don't know. It blows my mind just thinking about it, how he broke that shit down. You know what I'm saying? Like, Kanye said X, and it resulted into him losing all this money, losing all these business dealings, getting his bank account closed, his money frozen, blah, 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 blah. Kanye did X, right? What could someone possibly do? Well, that's kind of a weird question to ask now, man, because it ain't about what you do, it's about what you say. But before we got to this point where we seen words can result into what they turned into, right? Prior to that, what comes to y'all's mind that could have possibly resulted into what happened to Kanye, man? It's like, I can't even think of anything that would result from that, dog. Like the worst of the worst shit. Like, I don't know, fucking messing around with, I don't even want to speak out. I don't even want to utter what I think is worthy of what happened to Kanye. Clearly, what happened to Kanye is not worthy of, you know, his actions, right? Him saying what he said shouldn't have turned into what the fuck it turned into. It's just, we in this with.
MO is speaking your mind, and it's always been.
Well, look, they got me from the repair shop. Our culture loves things that are damaged.
Yeah.
Right? Like, fun facts about 50 Cent. Right? Immediately, the first thing that pops up is He was shot 9 times,
Mm-hmm.
right? You go poverty-stricken situation I'm coming out of. I don't know my dad. All of
Typical
these situations that
gang
people in
culture
Middle
shit.
America would look at as reasons for them to be damaged.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see it as damage. I see it as my grandfather was my dad, my father. I
Mm-hmm.
see it as my grandmother was my mom. You see what I'm saying? So everyone has a replacement. Where I'm from, there's more people who don't have both of their
You
parents.
know, I'm stopping it. But you know what's ironic about this, man, is that I think I've already touched on this in the previous video. You know, like glorification of street culture, gang culture, like, you know, rap culture is working to our severe detriment at this point, and there needs to be a shift in it to showcase hip hop in a more positive light so we can save lives at this point, because rap is taking too many lives out, man. But then it's like, if that type of rap didn't exist, 50 Cent would cease to exist. You know what I'm saying? He came from that glorification of, you know, murder, gang violence, street violence. You know what I'm saying? All the shit that hip hop is being demonized for, man. So it's like, it's a balancing act, right? Because imagine if 50 never was in hip hop, man. Like, the existence of 50 Cent totally contradicts my stance on hip hop today, man. Cause I'm not glorifying that. I'm not glorifying that shit because it's having a significant impact on, you know, black Americans, black male Americans to be exact, right? So like, if Get Rich or Die Trying came out right now, I'll be a hypocrite to be out here promoting the fucking album, even though that's like a classic album to me, dog. You know what I'm saying? 50 wasn't in these guys. It's just that that's where 50 came from. He talked about his life, but he wasn't out here talking about, you know, attacking someone, harming someone. He just, you know, talked about his environment, as opposed to now where you literally have rappers and songs talking about what they're going to do, how they're going to end people's lives. 50 was never on no shit like that. He had rap beef and all that, man, but he wasn't ever talking about actually going out there to take someone's life away. Or correct me if I'm wrong, but I can't think of anything like that. And 50 don't have anything out there that compares to, that's the variable right now. Distinguishes 50 from the bullshit right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, right now it's just reckless fucking, hey, I'm gonna kill you music. 50 never represented that. It's just that that's where he came from. And that's what the audience finds appealing. You know what I'm saying? Just trying to figure out a way that highlights 50 the way I need him highlighted. Because yeah, you imagine hip hop with no 50 Cent? Like, come on, bro. Like, he a lot more than just gang violence. I mean, not even gang violence. Not more, a lot more than street violence and drug violence and things of that nature, man. He a lot more than that, man. But that's where he came from. You know what I'm saying? He's a product. He's a product of his environment, and he put that in his music. You know what I'm saying? But right now, it's turned up. It's turned up, bro. It's turned up. That's all they talk about. It's all they talk about is killing a motherfucker. That's all they talk about.
It is damage. I see it as my grandfather was my dad, my father. I
Mm-hmm.
see it as my grandmother was my mom. You see what I'm saying? So everyone has a replacement. Where I'm from, there's more people who don't have both of their parents in the household
They can relate
than
to you.
people who do. Right? So it doesn't feel like there's a disadvantage or anything connected to that would make me. I'll give you an even clearer picture. Look at this. I had two artists. I'll pick two hip hop artists, right, that have been profound, have been really prolific artists within our culture that have very similar things happen with different responses, right? So you go, Eminem's mom, the drug usage was part of it, and he would do, sorry, mama, I never meant to hurt you. I never meant to make you cry, but tonight I'm cleaning out my closet. And then Tupac's mom also had some drug usage and shit involved in her experience. And he said, even though you was a crack fiend, mama, you always was a black queen, mama.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the tones of anger and the difference in the two of them and the artists are M's anger is coming from things were supposed to be right. And Tupac's statement is almost like a terms of endearment in it, because it's like, well, we always was still all I had.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? So it I think the expectations of things go right from a white American perspective versus things accepting the idea of things not going right from African American perspective are what make the difference in the tones in those records.
Hmm.
You see what I'm saying? And
I don't agree with that. Well, I really don't have anything to compare it to as far as white America and their hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Like my initial thought to what he said, comparing Pac and Eminem's records, those records specifically, is that like Eminem was describing his victimhood with his mom. You know what I'm saying? Because she was victimizing him, right? So like she had that fucking syndrome where she was literally like fucking Eminem up. You know what I'm saying? Lying to him about certain things, whatever, man. As opposed to the struggle that Pac and other Black America can relate to, as far as just the struggle and the relatability to it, and like knowing your circumstances and making the best of them. I think that could exist in white America's rap too, like trying to make the best of your circumstances, even though you know they're fucked up. But Eminem shit, I I think that people related to that record so much because he was vulnerable and he let you know that his mom was fucking him up, which I mean he loves her anyway. So I think that that record is too specific to try to generalize the the connection that white America had to that record as opposed to the connection that black folks had to that Pac record. So I think white folks can probably look at that Pac record and feel the same type of feeling. You know what I'm saying? Even though you was a crack fiend, mama, you always was a black queen, mama. That could essentially be like, a white mother having her struggles, but still doing what she can to make the quality of life for her child as best as she could. But I don't know if I don't know if those types of records exist. But my thing is that Eminem's record is too specific to generalize all of the white perspective, the white experience. You know what I'm saying? But I don't have enough experience with other white records to like debate it with 50 or whomever. But I just don't think that was a very valid comparison to make that point.
and it's both the same scenario, but
Yeah, I don't think they're the same
different
scenarios.
ways of expressing the experience because of the difference in the two artists. And,
Hmm.
and I love him, and I don't think people credit him for everything. Like I think the growth of our culture should be also a trophy for them.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Facts.
When
The
people don't
bridge.
see where they fit into it, they don't actually indulge in it. They don't invest themselves in it, and they damn sure don't spend their money.
Hmm.
And he's been like, you had those Vanilla Ice situations, those guys that came that were not respected and accepted by
Yeah.
the culture, just were big, and even they were bigger. They were big fucking artists because it
Yeah.
was still an audience out there.
Besides baby, Jesus.
They saw themselves in the artist.
Hmm.
So when the guy comes along that you see and experience is authentic, it does it gives everybody a way in.
Hmm.
And me personally, my career is a reflection of my association to him. Prior to my record coming out, the most I've seen a black male hip hop artist, male solo artist sell was 5 million copies on Tupac's All Eyes on Me. It was a double CD. It was the first time I seen something go diamond.
Hmm.
And to have my first album sell 13 million records, if you discredit or disassociate the fact that I'm in association to Eminem, who's selling 23 million records on the Marshall Mathers LP,
So crazy.
you're just a fucking idiot to think that. It is also that connection.
Hmm.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? And I don't think that they actually credit more people being involved in the culture, more people being willing to consume it and make purchases for it to
Man,
the fact
Eminem definitely got them magnified hip hop's appeal globally, bro. He put so much fucking money in fools' pockets, bro.
that he is authentic and he's ours. He's mine. I love him to death. So
That's
ain't nobody
hard.
can tell me shit
That's hard.
about him. He's in a tight second spot in my life for people who've done things for me that didn't have to. And it doesn't feel like when I say it to him, he's flattered by it and he looks and he goes, "Yo, you always say that, like you always," and I'm like, yeah, because like behind my grandmother taking care of me and looking out for me when she didn't have to. He's the person that did that for me.
That's hard.
And
That's hard.
he didn't feel like that he had to keep doing it. Because I just, like, after you've done it that one time, so all I needed was that, because I was prepared. I would be bumped around until he showed up.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and even it's confirmation, even in, when people say things like that. Like the Irv was talking in an interview, he was talking about he was blocking me, like he was blocking everything. He said I blocked him into a good situation, and it just went off. And I saw those situations. I didn't feel what he felt was blocking me at the point, but I wouldn't do business with people who had direct associations or any influence to the things that they had that was working.
Mm-hmm.
So even Dino DeValle came, he offered me $1.3 million to do a G Unit.
That's hard, bro. M set his ass up. That's hard, bro. Kept the distractions out the way, kept fucking bad deals out the way. That's tough.
I had my solo album at Universal, and I just turned the deal down. And Tony Yayo didn't understand. He was like, "What? I mean, dude, you're not gonna do it? What? Like, that's like saying we hit the lotto and you're not gonna pick up the ticket."
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, nah, it's not the right deal, because it was in the Universal system. Def Jam was there, and those guys already was making money for that system, where they could influence and sabotage everything that I had going. So, it took for him to come for this to work. You know, and people don't understand why I'm like that with him, but
shit, I get it.
I'm old like that.
I get it, bro.
They get too crazy with the things they're saying about him. They're gonna see me do stuff that he probably wouldn't do.
Oh, that's hard, bruh. That's hard, dog. Y'all gonna keep my motherfucking homie name out your mouth, or you gonna have fucking old 50 pull back up and hold some motherfuckers accountable out this hole, bro. That's tough, dog. That's hard. I was watching 50 talk about him like that, bro. You know what I'm saying? But Eminem he get all the hate. This wasn't even supposed to be about Eminem, bro. But fuck. That's tough, bro. It's a dope ass little interview, man. This shit I want to have long, bro, if y'all want to peep. You know what I'm saying? I was just found the spot where they got the most views and clicked on that bitch to see what they was talking about, bro. And lo and behold, that's what the fuck they was talking about, man. But anyway, man, I'm out here, man. Ground and grow, growing the ground all the time. Like Nation, I watch. Love y'all.